Every once in a while, an image pops up online that just makes you stop and stare. It's like a puzzle box, but with no key. Well, today, we're going to try and unlock one. An image labeled EM Plus has started making the rounds, and it seems to be hinting at some kind of brand new technology. So let's dive in and start piecing this enigma together.
And here it is. This is the whole mystery, all in one single frame. You've got two towers, this incredible field of energy connecting them, and that really cryptic name, EM+. It looks sleek, it looks powerful, and it's totally unexplained. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. What in the world are we actually looking at here?
All right, so to figure this out, we're going to break it down piece by piece. The best place to start is with the most solid, tangible thing we can see, the actual physical hardware that seems to be the foundation of this whole system. I mean, just get a good look at these towers. These are not your standard server racks you'd find in a data center. Look at the density, the super intricate design, the sheer scale of them. Everything about how they look just screams that they were built for a level of performance that's way beyond what we'd call cutting edge today. So the details here start to paint a really specific picture. Okay, yeah, they look like some kind of hyper-advanced server racks, but it's that perfectly mirrored arrangement that's really interesting. It hints at a special kind of relationship. This isn't just two powerful computers sitting next to each other. This is a paired system designed from the ground up to work as one, and you can almost feel the immense concentrated power coming off of them. So let's try to put a name to it. What we're most likely looking at is a form of advanced data infrastructure. Think of it as the physical backbone for a totally new kind of supercomputer, one built for processing power and efficiency on a scale that we really haven't seen before. This is our foundation. Okay, we've got the foundation figured out, but the hardware, that's really only half the story. Now, let's look at that incredible energy field connecting them. This part seems to be just as important as the towers themselves. Wow, look at that brilliant blue glow. That's not just a cable, right? It's not a simple wireless signal either. This is a dynamic, structured field of pure energy. You can actually see stable rings orbiting that central point, which tells us this connection is a really complex, fundamental part of how this entire system works. Notice how that energy flows directly between the two towers, creating this single shared nexus. And those stable orbiting rings, they're not just for looks. They imply a controlled, self-sustaining reaction. This isn't just about data transfer. No way. This suggests a deep, symbiotic relationship where the two halves are basically fused into one. And this leads us to a really cool new concept, data symbiosis. We're not talking about two computers just communicating anymore. We're talking about a state where their processing power and their data literally merge into a seamless, constant flow. They become a single unified computational entity that's way, way more powerful than its individual parts could ever be. All right, so we've got the hardware and we've got the connection. Now for the final clue that could tie this whole thing together, the name itself. What does EM Plus actually tell us about the identity of this technology? Okay, let's break it down. EM. What could that stand for? Electromagnetic seems like a good bet, given that crazy energy field, right? Or maybe something like enterprise machine, pointing to its massive scale. Or, hey, maybe something a lot more profound, like emergent mind. And the plus symbol is just a suggestive. It implies enhancement, an addition, a new generation. Something more. Put them together, and they're practically screaming next-level technology. Okay, we've looked at the hardware, we've analyzed the energy, we've decoded the name, we have all the pieces on the board. Now it's time to put it all together and build one single compelling hypothesis for what EM Plus really is. So here's how it all seems to fit. Step 1, you start with a foundation, two immensely powerful next-gen computing units. Then step 2 is the connection, that symbiotic data link that doesn't just connect them, it fuses them. And the result? Step 3, a single, unified system that isn't just an improvement, it's a whole new paradigm in computing. So why does any of this matter? What's the big deal? Well, because if this hypothesis is right, EM Plus could represent a fundamental shift in how we relate to technology. It points to a future where computing is no longer just a passive tool that we give commands to, but an active, unified partner that we can actually collaborate with to solve the world's biggest problems. And that leads us with one last, absolutely fascinating question to chew on. As we get closer and closer to these kinds of advancements, we have to ask ourselves, what happens when our technology stops being a collection of separate parts and starts becoming a unified, almost living system. That's the future EM Plus is hinting at, and it's definitely one worth thinking about.